This was a very, very small town. In 1954, when this home was built, there were only 50,000 people here. There were only two industries. We had the test site going on in Nellis Air Force Base. It was a military, essentially a military government presence. And we had the casino industry, which was really just taking off. This was the era when most of the famous strip hotels were being built. Very modern, all very sleek, jet age buildings and architecture. Those have been imploded. They've been covered over with the 80s upgrades, just took away all that flavor from them. Here in the neighborhood, these homes were built in an era where they were the first suburbs of Las Vegas, and yet I'm only a mile from downtown skyscrapers. This was the architecture and the design, the style. This is how they lived. This is what was. It was all new. It was all different. None of it was the same as it was pre-World War II. All of that was a new thinking of that we could create a different world, and we could create it through science, and we create it through technology, but we could also create it through innovative design and architecture and style. 1950s and 60s mid-century architecture was geometric patterns. They're certainly demonstrated in the concrete blocks, the screen walls, but also in things like the posts that are holding up the patio cover. They're represented in the front carport cover. A lot of people we've used a lot of geometric patterns in the layout of the house and the design of the carpets and floors. But mid-century architecture was about a lack of ornamentation, but bright colors were a big part of not only in the bodies of the houses, but in the cars and the furniture. Lots of pastel colors, lots of bright oranges, yellows, greens, teals. Turquoise was a really, really big color of the time and the period. Many of the mid-century modern homes, whether they were track houses or custom houses, was big wall fireplaces that became the centerpiece of the focal point of the whole room. The people at the test site were the people living here. The tourists that were coming to see the bomb go off saw these exciting new buildings, these magnificent structures that don't exist anymore. People were coming and being influenced by it, and Las Vegas was always really ground center in some of the most innovative architecture and design that was happening during that era. Las Vegas was a real showcase of all those changes and all that newness that was happening.